Alright y'all, we're here today with a CJDACHAMP reaction. 2003 General Grievous was the devil. Let's go.
Shut your clanker ass up, bitch.
That's a beautiful start.
Something's wrong with him. That's not human, man. He's not regular, man. Come here, boy! Nigga was the devil, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
All right, lady.
2003 was the year I was born, so I don't know anything about this Grievous. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new series.
The most I know is about the Star Wars animated series, the Clone Wars.
Now let me quickly explain to y'all what this is. These are not trials.
Damn.
These are files and cases for characters that quite honestly don't even need a trial. This is the new tier called the Forbidden Tier, and it is strictly reserved for legends of the game. And we're starting this series off with a character that was so disgustingly broken, he had to get nerfed. And that is none other than 2003 General Grievous. This nigga Grievous in 03 was the devil in animated form. Niggas talk about 03 Grievous like niggas talk about Vaughn. Like, this dude was a Jedi killing machine that was non-force sensitive, by the way. Like, for real, dead ass, bro. If he wanted you out of there, he'd go do it himself, on feet by himself. The nigga straight up had to go. And let me just give y'all a warning right now before we even start. If you have only seen Grievous from Revenge of the Sith in 3D Clone Wars and have never seen this man in the 2D version, then woo, you're in for a ride. So let's not waste no more time. Without further ado,
the Forbidden Files.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen,
we got a whole
case
section.
one, slimy.
Dang, so we got the Asylum, we got the Round Table Hold, and now we got this, the Forbidden Files. Okay, we got 3 different sections.
Out multiple Jedi at once. Now this right here was Grievous's first appearance in any type of Star Wars media. And man, I'll tell you, boy, this on record has to be one of the craziest character debuts of all time. So this is how this went down. While Anakin and Obi-Wan was finishing up a mission on this one planet, they get hailed from this one Jedi.
This look like Samurai Jack animation, low-key. I can't believe I've never seen this ever. Wow.
Master. And this man is fighting for his life and panicking. Bro was on the line like, General Kenobi, we need immediate evac. This new droid general, he's unstoppable.
Like he does not care.
Oh God, and the next thing that you see when they swap to that planet is this man falling over and dying, and Grievous stomping the communicator in the ground. The first time you ever catch a glimpse of this demon is him booming a Jedi Master. Not just a regular Jedi Knight, a whole ass Master. That is fucking horrifying. Now let's continue. The other Jedi that are with the Master that just got boomed are being completely surrounded by an army of droids. So while they had them completely surrounded at this abandoned ship, Grievous makes them cease fire. And after he made all the droids stop shooting, this man got on the mic and said,
Attention, Jedi scum! You are surrounded by the glorious Separatist army! Now, I could have my character swift tease you right now, but where will be the fun in that? So I, General Grievous, will personally come in there and slime you niggas out myself.
Oh yeah, you
prepare yourself for your impending doom, Jedi.
So after Grievous drops the mic and proclaims that he's gonna slime out the Jedi himself, they all start taking position and getting prepared for this nigga, because Grievous is walking towards them right now. And let me say this real quick. The Jedi in here are no pushovers, especially these 3. Long-head ass Kiadi Mundi, who is a member of the Jedi Council, Shakti, who was a pain in the ass to fight in the Force Unleashed, and Ayla Secura, the alien shorty that took like 10,000 back shots from clones in Revenge of the Sith. Like, these are known Jedi Masters. And the fact that this man Grievous had this long-head ass motherfucker sweating bullets is insane. So while Grievous was approaching them, all they could hear was his footsteps echoing around the wreckage. They couldn't tell where this dude was at all. So this is where the insanity begins. This poor Padawan
I knew he
that
was- I
looks
knew he
like
was about to
Shaggy,
go.
and believe it or not,
do
his
like
name
Shaggy.
is actually Shaggy. Not gonna lie, when I
Okay,
first
yeah,
watched
yeah,
this, I
okay,
was
they
like,
did it on
why does this dude look like Shaggy? And boy, oh boy, come to find out, this actually is a Jedi version of Shaggy. Like, that is just hilarious to me, bro. But anyways, while Grievous's
actually pretty
footsteps got louder and louder, Shaggy, being the same scary ass nigga in Star Wars as well, ended up losing his composure. So he runs outside just to get squashed by this nigga Grievous.
Yo, that gave me instant flashback. Like that, that was a freaking Adam Smasher Rebecca moment right there. That's insane. Oh my god.
R.I.P. Shaggy. That is one of the
He didn't
most
even get to
insane deaths I've ever seen. This nigga Grievous jumped from the top rope and squashed him. Knocked the sonic rings out that nigga. If you pay attention very closely, his entire body disappeared. That means the impact of that fall was so hard, his carcass was squished into the ground. His body was literally unrecoverable. So after Grievous squashed Shaggy, he starts towering over all the Jedi and laughing at their asses. Then shows them his 10-foot mechanical body and then just disappears. These niggas were shook because this just turned into a survival horde. Grievous really started playing Dead by Daylight with these niggas, just toying with them while he was ready to hunt them down one by one. So while they were moving back with their backs against each other, you see this nigga appear out of the shadows like Batman hanging from the roof. Dude is literally looking over them, stalking his prey. So Grievous finally decided he was ready to get active. He jumps from the roof and starts going to town on these niggas, fighting the whole 1v5 and enjoying every second of it. And dude, this man is a literal cheat code. He can turn his body into a Beyblade. This is the most unfair shit I've ever seen. Like, for real, how the hell are you supposed to fight a 10-foot cyborg that can move his body like a Beyblade? Oh, and guess what? That's not all he can do, because this is about to get even more insane. He started breakdancing on their asses, fighting them with his feet. No way in hell on their asses.
You see, bro, you find your enemy and they doing something like this, you gotta go. You have to, like, there's nothing you can do. He's literally breakdancing on them as they're
fighting them with his feet. No way in hell a 10-foot cyborg should be moving like this. No, twin, nuh-uh. I'll be for real, bro. If I saw this shit, I'd put the saber down, bro. I wholeheartedly understand why George Lucas nerfed this nigga. So as the fight continued, long-head-ass Ki-Adi-Mundi tried to force push, bro, but Grievous dodged it and landed on the side of the roof. So this is when Grievous decided to start singling them out. He jumps back in and hits the ground so hard he made a smoke screen. So this wildebeest looking nigga decided to go in and try to fight him one-on-one, but Grievous pulls off a crazy move. He blocks his attack, and when old boy tried to swing at him again, he dropped his saber, cut him across the middle with his green one, then just slapped this nigga with his other one. Bro boomed that musty-ass wildebeest immediately when he was 1v1 with him. So after the wildebeest Yeti hybrid got boomed, Shanti decides to throw a bunch of scrap at him. But Grievous ends up cutting through all of it. Then this one Jedi tries to pull up on him. I'ma refer to him as Yeet because the nigga got a turban on his head. Grievous grabs his elongated head with his grippers and slams bro's head into the ground, breaking his neck on impact. Bro didn't stand a chance. He didn't even get to swing the saber. His last seconds of life was him getting his face gripped by this man's.
He coated his face in his mechanical grippers, lifted him up,
then eating dropped right after that. But
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to find some way to get resurrected. I am not going out like that. I'm gonna have to get resurrected and get my get back. No way that death was supposed to be how I end.
Oh boy wasn't the only person to get his face gripped, because after Grievous boomed him, Ayla came in trying to swing, but Grievous gripped her face mid-air, then swung both of their bodies across the map with his feet. That has got to be one of the most insane ways to slime a nigga. Sending them flying with your feet is OD. So the last two Jedi remaining were Longhead Kiadi and Shaak Ti. So Grievous ended up zoning them both out of their range. Then he drop kicks Kiadi's ass across the stage, taking him out of the fight. And this just left Grievous one-on-one with Shaak Ti. And he was pushing her shit. She was panicking, barely holding on and blocking his strikes. So he ended up knocking the saber out of her hands. Then he comes in to swing on her, but Shaak Ti barely blocks this with the force and gets sent flying into a pillar, and she is out of commission. So the last man standing was Ki-Adi-Mundi with his elongated, dingling head. So Grievous grabs Shaak Ti's saber and picked it up with his foot. And he was staring at this nigga Ki-Adi, laughing at his ass like,
You fool! With your elongated head! I've been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku!
So after Grievous finished taunting this man, he ends up pushing Ki-Adi and knocking the saber out of his hands immediately. And Grievous ends up going in for the kill. But at the last millisecond, Ki-Adi ends up getting bailed out by the clones. And the clones looked at that boy Grievous and said,
Troopers, blast that half-breed clanker.
So they start shooting at Grievous, and Grievous hits the dash, while the clones are blasting every single piece of ammo that they have at this man. So while they continue trying to shoot bro down, Grievous decides to drop in and starts to murder all of the clones in front of him.
Wow.
So after Grievous ended up mowing down the whole front line, a whole gunship ends up pulling up right in front of his face. And this is when Grievous finally decided to make a strategic retreat. So Grievous ends up hitting the dash again. That man is out of there. I know his 40-yard dash speed is fast as hell. And Ki-Adi and the clones end up retreating. So yeah, that right there was General Grievous's first ever.
Did they get everybody else? Did they only get the long-haired dude?
Appearance.
Yo.
So let's review this carnage that he caused. He crushed Shaggy into oblivion, put Wildebeest nigga up on a shirt, gripped Yeet with his feet, and broke his neck, and threw their asses across the ship with his feet, and damn near killing Shaak Ti along with Ki-Adi-Mundi. Oh, and I forgot old boy at the beginning that got boomed on the communicator, along with his entire battalion. So yeah, this man packed up 4 Jedi, put Ayla and Shaak Ti on a stretcher, and had Ki-Adi's ass rethinking life. This is one of the nastiest debuts a character has ever had to date. So yeah, and guess what? That was only case 1. We still got another case left. And boy, let me tell you, it gets even crazier.
Yeah, he do look menacing.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to case 2, the siege on Coruscant. Now, what you're about to see are the events that basically open up episode 3. Even though this series is now considered Legends continuity, this is still kind of what basically happened. So how this went down. This evil-ass conniving nigga Palpatine sent this man Grievous to invade Coruscant.
Look at his eyes, bro. Look at his eyes. You never want to mess with somebody that look like this. He looked like somebody could just say one word and then their life just ends right there in front of him. And then he's not going to show any remorse. He's just gonna look like it's a regular Monday, just going about his business. This is crazy.
Capture him. So the separatists end up pulling up to Coruscant, and a massive battle just ensues. Now, before we get to Grievous, we gotta take a detour real quick, because this is one of the hardest moments in Star Wars history. This nigga Captain Fordo was popping off this battle. Nigga turned into the Doomslayer. Just look at this shit. Him and his squad are being overran, but he didn't care. Bro, boomed the battle droid in front, turned around, smacked this nigga, dumped the clip in his ass, then he throws his gun at this droid, blows his head off, then picked up his blaster in his left hand and started mowing these niggas down. Like, nah, bro. You know this man was top of the leaderboard in every single Battlefront lobby. Bro just dropped off 20 droids in the span of 20 seconds. So while the battle continued and Captain Fordo was running up the scoreboard, we see this nigga Palpatine watching the battle and sipping tea, not giving a care in the world. This man doesn't care at all what is happening right now. He's just looking at all this shit like, good, I orchestrated all this shit. I don't give a damn what's happening, nigga. So while Palpatine was enjoying his tea, Shaak Ti, a bunch of troopers and 2 Jedi end up pulling up with her. And they're trying to get this man Palpatine to safety. But Palpatine was just stalling and acting like, oh, Master Shaak Ti, greetings. would you like to enjoy some tea with me while I watch the battle? And she like, no, old ass nigga, I'm trying to get your ass to safety. But while they continued to stay in this room, they started hearing footsteps around the room. And when they started getting louder, Shakti knew immediately who this was.
Get down, Mr. President!
Hi, how are you?
So he breaks in the window, letting himself right in the room. And look at this mechanical, lanky ass nigga ore farming. Bro really had to hit a whole JoJo's pose before he started dropping niggas off. So this nigga Grievous looking at Palpatine like, shut the fuck up. You mechanical Nimrod, they're not supposed to know that shit till the third movie.
I'm sorry, Lucius.
Now capture me and make it look believable. So Grievous tries to grab him, but Shakti pulls him away. And they end up taking Palpatine, and Grievous is surrounded by about 20 clones. But bro didn't care that he was surrounded at all. Dude was actually ecstatic, cause now he can let loose and kill some niggas. So the clones start firing and Grievous jumps up and immediately starts mowing every clone in that room down. Look at what he does to this one dude. He grabs him and plants him on the wall, then just slices him down the middle. And I'm not gonna lie, this next guy got done dirty even worse. Grievous slices bro's gun in half. Then he grabs him by the leg with his own leg, then throws him out the window. Nah, bro, that is one of the worst ways to ever go out. Bro grabbed his leg with his own leg, then sent him flying, and he's gonna fall for like 100 floors before he goes splat. Oh man, rip that guy, bro. So as he continued to murder everybody in this room and make this clone look up to the sky to see God, we get to one of the nastiest kills of all time. Grievous grabs this one clone by his face with his grippers, then slams his skull into the
signature? Why is that his signature? What is with him using the grippers to actually grip and slam people? This is crazy.
Oh dear God, that might be worse than the guy that fell 100 floors. If you look to the right, you can see the horror on this one clone's face. You don't even see his face, but you can tell just by the look. If I saw one of my homies get slimed like that, I'm gonna be real, I wouldn't know what to do. At this point, just put the gun down and accept your fate or just run. Those are your only options. Look what happens to this royal guard. Bro grabs him with his grippers, starts using him as a body shield, then slams his body on the ground. These clones are having some of the most horrific deaths I've ever seen, because this is just getting ridiculous. So Grievous just continued to murder everyone in that room. Those clones stood zero chance against this man. They were literally used as meat shields so Shakti and them could get away. So while they was waiting by the elevator, all they could hear were just the screams of everybody getting murdered in there. Look at this one Jedi. He is spamming the button trying to get the elevator to come up. Because dude is horrified of what he's hearing in there. So when the screams stopped, they knew the head start that they got was over. Grievous busts through the door on all fours, running at them like a rabid dog while dodging multiple force pushes. So Shakti ends up finally hitting them, buying them some time to get in the elevator, but that didn't put Grievous down at all. So later on after they escape, they're all taking this high-speed elevator down to the ground. So they thought they were safe. They thought they had time to breathe, but that lasted for a whopping 2 seconds. They look to the right, and this nigga Grievous is running down the building. He is running down a building, keeping up with a high-speed elevator. Like, no, bro, no, man. This has got to be another reason why George Lucas nerfed this, man, because this is ridiculous. So this one clone said, nah, twin, fuck this shit. He just decides to shoot a rocket launcher at him. And I'm not gonna lie, was that warranted? Yes! I mean, they gotta try something to stop this man. So when they finally reach the ground floor, they are surrounded by a bunch of super battle droids. And Grievous just drops from the building right in front of him. So Mr. Man-Slug nigga decides to use a force howl, but Grievous was prepared this time. He uses those damn grippers, digs in the ground, and starts moving through the house. They was trying every trick in the book and couldn't stop this man at all. So they just decided to run. There was no point in fighting him. So while they was on the run, Grievous's Magna Guards end up killing the final 2 clones. So the only ones that were left standing protecting Palpatine was Shakti and the other 2 Jedi. So they were having to run for their lives through the city while Grievous and his Magna Guards were chasing them. And this whole chase was just insane. They went from fighting on a ship to Grievous was just destroying it, making it crash in the middle of the city. Then they ended up fighting in a subway station. And I'm not gonna lie, this next scene had to be one of the most terrifying scenes of all time. When they thought they were safe behind this train, this man Grievous pops up right behind them. Jump scare of doom. So he starts walking them down and pushing them back, then kicks both of the two Jedi to the side. So he ends up walking up to Shock T and telling her,
Salutations, Jedi scum! You may have escaped from me before, but today you will be slimed!
But Shock T ends up pulling off a 10,000 IQ big brain play. She used the Force to wrap this man's cape around the train. So when the train was ready to go, Grievous just gets yoinked. And this finally brought them some time to escape from this man. So about a good 20 minutes passed, and they think that they finally shaken Grievous. Shock T ended up splitting up from him, and the other two Jedi ended up taking Palpatine to his bunker so he could be safe. So when they got in there and locked all the doors, they thought that they were in the clear. But they were soon about to realize not even getting yoinked by a high-speed train would stop this nigga. Grievous was waiting for them in that room the entire time. So he drops down and starts fighting the other two Jedi. And while he was doing that, look at this evil, conniving motherfucker going back like, good, Grievous, good. Slime those niggas, Grievous. Put them on a shit. So while Grievous continued to fight them, they end up getting stuck in a lightsaber clash. And this is when Grievous finally revealed his trump card. The thing that he's most famous for. He pulls out the other two arms and starts using all four of them holes. And when he was using,
I was wondering when he was gonna do that because I kept looking at his waist. I'm like, he got those extra sabers, but where are the arms at?
all four of his arms, they stood no chance. Grievous cuts both of them down in a heartbeat. And it was game over for both them niggas. So Grievous finds Palpatine and he looking at him like,
I've done it, Lord Sidious. Are you impressed?
about fucking time, you half-breed clank. Now get me on the ship and let's fucking go. Okay, on a real note, Grievous actually never knew that Palpatine was Sidious. That is still hilarious to how oblivious he was to him. But anyways, Shock T finally ends up making it to the room, but she's too late. She sees the other two Jedi dead, and Grievous holding up Palpatine, and Palpatine looking at her like, oh, hello, Shock T, dear. I'm having a little trouble here. Can you please help me? So Shock T runs at Grievous, but he hits her saber to the side and just chokes her. So he takes her saber, adds it to his collection, then decides to give Shock T some actual shock. He just electrocutes the hell out of her and just ties her up and leaves her there. So Grievous ends up taking Palpatine to his ship. But before he was about to leave, my goat, Mace motherfucking Windu nigga, came down and looked at Grievous like, you a fake demon twin, and crushes this man's sternum. Look how he had this man Grievous and crushes.
What? Just like that? He just dropped down after all the trouble and business he was giving everybody else. Yo, how OP is me? How OP is me?
Grievous like, you a fake demon twin, and crushes this man's sternum. Look how he had this man Grievous leaning back. Lord have mercy. And this is the incident in this continuity that gave him that iconic cough. So after the ship takes off and Grievous escapes, Revenge of the Sith starts. But yeah, that's basically the end of case 2. So let's look at our final Carnage report for case 2. This man launched a full invasion on Coruscant, broke into the Chancellor's room and slimed like 20 clones in the most brutal way fashion, then decided to chase the Jedi throughout the whole city, then kill 2 of them and knock out Shock T for a second time. This is some of the most wicked work of all time. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the end of our first ever Forbidden File. I hope everybody can clearly see and understand why this demon got nerfed. Because if he was moving like this in Revenge of the Sith and 3D Clone Wars, then dear God.
Oh my God, if Mace Windu never had crushed his sternum, bro, he would still be moving like that in like the 3D era and all of them. That was insane.
Republic would have been cooked. So yeah, 2003 General Grievous, that nigga had to go, just straight up. So with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Let me know if y'all want any more Forbidden Files because I have a whole list of these. And also make sure to follow the other socials because that is where I'll tell y'all what all the future videos will be. And until next time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Shut You clank her ass up.
Man, shout out CJDACHAMP, man. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure y'all leave a like I am, because I know I enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.